everybody, welcome to Shaney Entertaining. So guys, I want to discuss something with you guys because, like this, with all this stuff about Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse, I'm going to start a drinking game. Whenever I do, you guys need to take a drink. I guarantee you'll be toasted by the end of this video. I'll just make sure that you guys get toasted. So if you guys have some beer in the fridge, or any kind of liquor, maybe you're a wine sort, go get it and just, I'll wait here. Drink away. We'll have a little fun. Yeah, so what I was saying is so knowing that Disney and what we heard from Grace Randolph, which I mentioned in my last video, about how Disney is looking for somebody to replace Kathleen Kennedy and maybe they could right the ship and try and figure out what's wrong with it. What's kind of getting on my nerves is the things that I'm reading lately. Are you alright there, Bubba? That's my doggies. Sneezing up a storm. With all this stuff that Mickey is doing, knowing that they're trying to right the ship here, which is hopeful and good, but knowing that there's still pockets of misinformation going out there, and this is what I mean. I still keep reading articles that get it all wrong, and it drives me insane, which is not hard for me. I read a few articles, and even in Grace's last video, the one I told you where she mentioned about Kathleen Kennedy and that stuff, she mentioned something, and it bothered me when she said it, because she's even on the side of, sort of on our side, where she thinks they should never have put all these SJW messages and things in The Last Jedi, and she's angry, and you can hear her. She went on a rant too in her video. But what she did still say something that bothered me, because it just keeps going back to people still don't get it. What she said that bothered me, and now there's and the article as well, and I'll get to the article after, but what she said that bothered me was that all they had to do to avoid all of this was one lightsaber battle. One good lightsaber battle with Luke would have fixed this whole thing, and everyone would have been just fine. No. No, not at all. And if people start spreading that out to Mickey, and he gets this misinformation. Okay, first of all, let's get into this. While one lightsaber battle might have made the movie a little better, a little more palatable to an extent, okay? Just to see Luke, yes, doing some crazy, cool lightsaber scene would have been fun and would have been good. But it wouldn't have fixed The Last Jedi, okay, guys? It still doesn't fix Super Leia, which was ridiculous. It doesn't fix the fact that they had no ceremony for Han Solo. His death kind of went like, who cares? He's not a major character or anything. Just let it go. It didn't fit the plot holes all over the place, which I'm not going to get into. People say, there was no plot holes. The whole movie's a plot hole. Didn't follow what J.J. Abrams did and set up, so the whole thing is a plot hole. He set something up and they completely ignored things. It doesn't fix the SJW messages, which she acknowledges at least that there is inappropriate SJW messages in this movie. It doesn't fix the fact that the Cantabite scene, which was just preposterous and boring, Rey being even more of a Mary Sue, and almost confirming that she's a Mary Sue in this one, because we were all kind of hoping that her backstory would actually show that she wasn't a Mary Sue. We were hoping that she wouldn't be a Mary Sue by at least some sort of background, some information. We wanted that to be like, okay, well, JJ set her up to be a Mary Sue. Let's maybe see if, Rian Johnson could come in and fix that situation, and so that we don't have to look at her as a Mary Sue, but he made it worse. But the one thing that really sticks out, the one thing that really bothers us, okay, as fans of Luke Skywalker, isn't that he's a miserable old man on an island. We can kind of understand that. And that's one thing I heard even Mark Hamill say in an article that I read. That he said that now coming to think about it, I read this in an article yesterday. I actually believe that maybe Rian Johnson was right. I was a hopeful, young guy, and just like Luke Skywalker was, and I got bitter when I got older and angrier. So I could see how he could, it could be good for his character. Listen, I don't think most of us, while we didn't like the fact that he was bitter and old, I don't think that was the nail. That was just sort of an And when you add up all the really cringy parts that were in this movie, it doesn't bode well. But the one thing that kind of amplified all the other stuff, the one thing that you cannot take back, okay? It doesn't matter how much my brain wants to see. You could take back almost everything else. The one thing you can't take back, and I want you guys to understand this, okay? No great lightsaber fight scene, none of that stuff, no Snoke backstory, no Rey backstory, okay, is gonna fix what you guys did to Luke Skywalker. And it's not making him a bitter old man on an island. That sucked, but that's not what screwed it up. Because yes, he could start off as a bitter old man on an island and then have another, I guess, story arc where you could see how he became bitter and then, distanced himself from the Force. That's okay. That's a fine plot device. It's fine to see a new story arc for Luke. You cannot ever fix the fact that Luke Skywalker, even for half a second, I don't care. You say, oh, it was just a momentary. No. No one in their right mind brandishes a lightsaber, or in let's just say in reality, a knife, over a child who was okay, he maybe was a teen, but it doesn't matter. It was his own nephew, because he sensed darkness in him. That is insane. Even if he contemplated it for half a second, the fact that you could think about it is one thing. Anyone could think about negative thoughts and have negative thoughts. But the fact that he went as far as to sneak into his room, brandishing a lightsaber over the kid's bed, is insanity. It's insanity. And to say that that's just a little mistake, it isn't. This is pretty bad for our hero to do. It's not bad for a hero to maybe have a momentary lapse and think about it, and actually and then shrug it off going, what are you doing? This is stupid. But to actually go out and do the action means it goes beyond thinking to actually is retarded. And to think that that is just something that you can fix. No, that's why the whole thing is ruined, okay? It was ruined by what they did with Leia, that turning her into a miserable lady. These are all semi-forgivable things. Not in the grand scheme, though. When you compile them together, it definitely isn't. When you compile the whole thing into one giant conglomeration of mass feces, right, is what that movie was, it all looks bad. But when you take the one Luke Skywalker scene and then you add it to the mass pile of dung, right, that's where you have the problem. That's where you have the unfixable situation, okay? Not the fact that he's a miserable man on an island. That's understandable as long as he redeems himself. That's fine. It's not the fact that there was no lightsaber battle, right? It's ridiculous. Lightsaber battle might have made it a little cooler, but it wasn't going to fix the fact that we still in the back of our minds going, how could my hero contemplate murder? That is different. It's not the same as a mistake, an oopsie. It's not even the mistake of being a pouty baby in a cave. It's going from being a pouty baby to a maniac. It's different, okay? All these other things that I mentioned that we could talk about, the funeral, they're all bad things, like the plot holes, the changing of the Force, all that stuff are bad things. But I guarantee you, a lot of those things would have been forgiven had they not done what they did to Luke Skywalker. And if you compile it all together and you add it all up, it's just a steaming pile of horse manure. And every time I hear someone talk listen, Grace, who I respect, and I really like her. I like her videos. And I actually like that she speaks her mind, People don't always agree with it, and sometimes she likes to stir the pot a little bit. It's fine. However, she at least speaks her mind, and I give her props on that. But I think that this is bad because what I think people like Grace in this who are either misunderstanding, misrepresenting, and they're spreading misinformation. There's a lot of misses in this discussion. All these feminists are going to be, I'm pretty sure if it was Mr. Information, you wouldn't say any of all that. Just so we know, I have nothing against misinformation. I would feel just the same way if it was Mr. Information, okay? So this isn't sexually motivated. Just get this out. So all you feminists and SGWs, just calm down. I'm not, just because I said miss a lot doesn't mean, oh my god, look at how sexist he is. He just said all this misses all the time. Misinformation, So I want the truth to get out, because it seems like these people can't handle the truth. You want answers? You want to fix Star Wars? You're going to have to know the truth. The problem is, you can't handle the truth. A few good men. Again, what are you trying to say? Women aren't good? Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. No. Gotta be careful now, guys. You got a bunch of SJWs making sure that you don't say appropriate words everywhere you go. See, so I get a little frustrated because I don't want Mickey to go in the real boardroom going, so I'm hearing from all these sources that the problem with Star Wars is there wasn't a good lightsaber battle. Oh, well, let's just fix it by putting a lightsaber battle. Everything is fine. I don't want Mickey to get bad information here. I almost said misinformation. See, now I'm correcting myself. We don't want that to happen, right? If they're going to fix it, we want them to understand the truth, the reality of what they did. The reality isn't that, yes, all these things are bad. Luke on an island was it sucked. But at least if he redeemed himself, maybe with a good lightsaber fight at the end, that would have been fine. But that's not the main issue. Everybody keeps focusing on him being a miserable sod on an island drinking titty milk, which was horrible, which was bad. Those are forgivable if they write it at the end. If there was a great scene at the end to fix that, sure. Then I could say the lightsaber scene would have been fine to fix that. But that's not the major issue. The major issue was turning Luke Skywalker, a hero, into, for even a half a second, a homicidal maniac who would contemplate even killing his own nephew. How do you fix that with a lightsaber battle? You can't do it! You can't fix it, Captain! You don't have the power! So I just want you guys to understand this, right? Because I'm tired of bad information being sent. If we really want Mickey and Lucasfilm to right the ship, they have to understand where the holes in the ship are. We gotta know where the holes are, right? You can't be telling people the wrong things or have people spreading things that aren't necessarily true. Yes, some of that stuff is true. A good lightsaber battle, like I said, would be awesome, but it's not fixing anything. And you take the entire, because it's not just one problem. There's many videos out there that deal with the problem. But I think the one, well, I could say two unforgivable things. Was Leia, that was unforgivable. Changing the Force is slightly unforgivable too, because by retroactively you're kind of screwing the original trilogy. So that's another unforgivable thing, but the one major unforgivable, at least in my eyes, I mean, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but in my eyes, the most unforgivable thing was turning a hero into a homicidal maniac. Even for half a second. I don't care. To know that he can think that way screws the way I perceive him to be. I can understand an old man, becoming miserable, and look, I'm becoming that way. Look, I've many videos of me sitting there shaking my fist going, what are all these kids whippersnappers doing? I know that you can become bitter. I'm bitter. We're all bitter. Sure, I can understand that. Sitting on an island, we all think about sitting on an island, just getting away from the world and sitting on an island. There's nothing wrong with that. Hell, I'll probably retire on an island with some porgs. I'm not that upset by that. As long as he redeems himself at the end, it's fine. But me sitting on an island training someone and then brandishing a knife over the bed of my nephew or something like that, because I think that he might be dark inside, as opposed to trying to help him, then, and if he did try to help him, and if this was just his last resort thing that he thought of, which they didn't convey in the movie, so I'm not going to hear any of that. Someone will say, well, you don't know, maybe he was trying to help him the whole time, and he just, we don't know what he... That's your problem. That's the problem with the movie. That's not my problem. The problem with Rian Johnson's movie is that he didn't convey that, so I can only go on with the information I was given. I said, I can't be writing... I can't be writing... Don't go there. No, I can't be writing the script for him, right? He's the writer, and so... You're the one who has to convey that. And if you can't convey that, then it's not there. It's not in it. Not even foreshadowed or nothing. It's just, here's the scene, and that's it. So I'm not going to judge what isn't in the movie. I have to only judge with what I saw. And I didn't see any reason for him to do it. For him to brandish. And there is no reason. So, anyway. Enough of that, guys. Sorry for this. I just got really annoyed. And I had to say something about it because I don't want this... Mickey in the boardroom giving out, trying to tell people what to do, because in the end it won't fix anything, and that's the problem. We got to make sure that people understand why we hated The Last Jedi, all right? Because if they're not going to understand why we hated it, they're not going to be able to fix it. I doubt they're going to fix it anyway. I do not foresee it. However, anything is possible, I suppose. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments, because I'm when I read this, I tell you, sometimes I get that bell. That rings and I just... Where's the camera? Where's the camera? I have to say something. So anyway, guys, like I said, let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the little bell. The little bell that says, hey, it's here. and like, and share, and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you very much.